You have a unique financial fingerprint that is formed by patterns in your bank accounts, your income, and your net worth. Now, if you were to download a statement from your bank account, and if you were to chart the column of the changing total amount of money in your bank account, you will very likely find that over time, that chart would form a pattern that looks something like this. This is literally the heartbeat of the mass population's bank accounts. So your financial fingerprint, it tends to bounce between a floor and a ceiling, and you might call these levels your lower and your upper financial thermostats. Now, I call these thermostats because as you perceive that your financial situation is starting to approach these levels, then your actions are automatically and often unconsciously, your actions are then adjusted to keep you in the middle. So another way of describing the middle is your comfort zone, your overall financial thermostat, your internal financial level, your financial self-image, or your financial self-worth. Now, as your financial situation approaches or exceeds your upper financial thermostat, you start loosening up. You become more financially sloppy. Maybe you start to buy, unnecessary luxuries that before you wouldn't usually even look at. You start to take greater risks. Maybe your work ethic and your consistency declines because you're a bit less motivated. As your lifestyle and your expenses are slowly increasing and increasing, you start to attract people, situations, and circumstances to literally have your money taken from you. You manifest unexpected bills or financial emergencies from family, whoever, who start to reach out. They know you've got money, etc., etc. But then, as your financial situation approaches or exceeds your lower financial thermostat, you start tightening up. You become a lot more financially calculated. You start to take less risks. Maybe your work ethic and your consistency increases because your financial motivation starts to increase because you hate the feeling of being so uncomfortable, near that financial floor. So then you start to rein in your spending, your lifestyle and your expenses decrease. You start to attract people, situations and circumstances to provide new income opportunities, right? Because you're just starting to look out for them, and you start to manifest unexpected income or financial wins. So if we want to improve our financial situation, we need to raise the floor and the ceiling. We need to raise our upper and our lower financial thermostats. Now, out of the two thermostats, your lower financial thermostat is by far the most significant contributor to your overall financial situation. So your upper financial thermostat could be likened to your dreams, and your lower financial thermostat could be likened to your standards. You don't always achieve your highest dreams, but you will always uphold your minimum standards. So if this here is your current self, and this is your current financial thermostat, but you actually want to improve it, then you need to ask yourself, who do I have to become to be where I want to be? Because you have to become the person to achieve the goals that are associated with that person. You have to become the person to achieve the goals that are associated with your ideal self. But the problem is, you are not the highest version of yourself, which you can imagine or dream about when you write down your goals. Instead, you are the lowest person which you can possibly accept and tolerate each and every single day. You are not your highest dreams. You are your lowest standards. You can dream as high as you want, but you are not going to achieve it with your current character. So the question is, how do you actually achieve your dreams and your goals? Well, how you achieve your dreams is to transcend your current self and turn into a character who has your dreams as its standards. You must design a character, your ideal self, who has its standards as your dreams. If you become that character, become your ideal self, you will then achieve those dreams. You will then be able to play up at that level as your new minimum baseline. And of course, this applies to achieving goals and dreams in all areas of your life, not just your finances. So, going back to your financial fingerprint that is displayed by the heartbeat of your bank account, how is it that we can raise our minimum standards? How can we raise our self-worth in order to, increase our net worth? Because they are directly correlated. How can we do that? Well, there's a lot of psychology behind this that we will discuss at a much later point in the program, but we'll leave the more, esoteric stuff aside for now, and we'll just focus on something extremely practical that you can literally implement right this second, that I can absolutely guarantee will change your life if you implement it. I guarantee it. Now, as with most things in life that are truly effective, it is something very simple, and that is automating your savings. Yes, boring, I know, it's not that sexy, but I promise you there is almost nothing else in your financial world that you can do that will guarantee you success with building your savings up and building your financial net worth and raising that minimum floor. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a percentage of your current income that you are going to save each month. So let's say 10%. So you're going to put away 10% of your income every single month, no matter what, into a separate savings account that you cannot touch. Now, if this initial allocation is too comfortable, then turn up the savings so that it sits right at the border of comfort and discomfort. But if this initial allocation is too uncomfortable for you, do it anyway. I don't care, right? 10%, everyone can do this. Now, transmute that discomfort into mobilizing new energy, new creativity, and desire to reach profitable consistency with your trading and to potentially generate other income streams. Now, ultimately, your objective is to pay as much into your savings account as possible, so you're going to be approximating 100% by the end of your earthly life. So every 3 months, you're going to increase your savings by 10% via calendar reminders and automated forced bank transfers. So you're going to log into your bank account right after this video, or you know what, pause the video right now and do this now. Go log into your bank account, set up an automated transfer from your current account to your savings account, right? That goes out on the same day every month, ideally when you get paid, right? Whether it's 10% or whatever figure you have chosen, just do it right now. No excuses. Literally pause the video, go and do it. Right? Hopefully you've done that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to set a reminder in your calendar to remind you to increase your savings rate by 10% every 3 months. So literally grab your phone and say, hey Siri, please put it in my calendar to remind me to increase my automated savings by 10% every 3 months starting from today. Right? And now your phone and your calendar, hopefully if it's synced up, is going to remind you in 3 months' time to bump that 10% or whatever figure you started on, you're going to increase that by 10% every quarter. So you're just going to keep nudging it up a little bit and a little bit so that you are raising your lower financial thermostat, your lower floor, your minimum financial standards, just that bit more every 3 months. So what you're essentially doing is just simply multiplying your previous savings percentage by 1.1. So let's say month 1, right, you save 10%. So you save this amount for 3 months in a row. Then after that 3rd month, in month 4, you take that 10% and you multiply it by 1.1. So that gives you 11%, right? So essentially you've just increased that 10% by 10%. So now what you're doing is you're saving 11% of your income for another 3 months. Then in month 7, you bump it up by 10% again. So now you're saving 12.1% a month. Then in month 10, right, 3 months later, you bump that up by another 10%. So now you're saving 13.1%, right? And so on. So you are probably wondering, what on earth does all of this have to do with a free lifetime subscription? Well, yeah, sorry, that was essentially a little bit of a clickbait title to a degree, but, in all honesty, if you implement and execute this, which is an extremely super simple but extremely effective financial strategy, I guarantee it will make you a shitload of money over time. Everyone that I personally know who has done this, we talk about this and we laugh about it, and they just can't believe how effective it is, when they look back in 2, 3, 5, 10 years' time. Because it's hard right now for our brains to really understand the power of compounding in reality. So if you do implement this, the money you will save will essentially more than pay, right, for your Photon subscription. Then, as you approach and surpass 50% of your income being allocated to your savings account, what you can expect is literally this kind of weird energetic shift, because you are now officially living, seeing, and working for reasons beyond mere survival. Now, with saving and building a cash buffer, there is, another part of that. There's the numbers and the math side of it that we've just looked at. Everyone knows about compound interest. But there's another form of compounding, magnetism, for lack of a better phrase. There's something that happens when you decide to go and actually save. So picture this for a moment. There are 5 people, 5 guys standing up on a stage. And on the left, there is a homeless person, a bum, someone who just doesn't have their shit together. And then as you move to the right, they get wealthier and wealthier. So the guy on the far right is a billionaire. We've got Big Billy on the right. Then the guy second from the right, let's say he's a millionaire, and the next guy along, he's doing all right. He's got 100k saved up, and then it goes all the way down until you've got the lower middle class second from the left. So we've got homeless through to billionaire. So here's a question for you. who would you take to lunch? Who are you going to go and take to lunch if all you knew about them was their net worth? Who are you going to take to lunch? Of course you're going to take the billionaire to lunch, right? Obviously you're going to take the billionaire. Because homeless people, well, they're a dime a dozen. You could go down to the city and you can talk to 50 homeless guys a day. Lower middle class, they're probably in your family. You can go and talk to your family at the dinner table. So of course you're going to take the billionaire to lunch if you're smart. In fact, if the 5 guys were up there on the stage and you were presented with that opportunity to take someone to lunch, and there were other people perhaps in the audience with you, sitting next to you, jostling for the opportunity, maybe you might even start an auction. You might actually pay to take the billionaire to lunch. You'll pay him. So you put up a bid, I'll pay £1,000 to take this guy to lunch. But then the next person next to you wants to take the billionaire to lunch too. And you'll say, no, I'll pay him 1,500 quid, right? And there'll be some kind of auction in the audience. Everyone's banded together to literally throw money at the billionaire. And out of the 5 guys, he's the one who needs the money the least. But he's the one who attracts it. Because there is a universal law that says, to he who has more is given, to he who hath not more is taken away. Right? It's just a fancy way of saying the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So as you go and you grow your wealth, you will become more and more magnetic. When you get to multi-millionaire, centimillionaire, billionaire, you will be a money magnet. People will throw their money at you just for your presence alone, just to grace them with your presence. And then down at the other end of the stage, all the way down at the left-hand side of the stage, it's a complete role reversal. You have to pay to get yourself up around people. So of course there's a spot in between those 5 guys, somewhere within there that you will slot yourself, where the people on the left-hand side of you, they're going to have to pay to go to lunch with you, but you will pay the other people on the right. And wherever you slot yourself is your degree of financial resonation. That's your degree of magnetism. That's what you believe about yourself financially. And you will manifest into your life results that fit into that resonation. Because, just get this now, the world around you will treat you the way you treat you. If you don't pay yourself first, and you don't back yourself, and you're not investing and growing your wealth, who else will do that for you? You don't get yourself into debt by accident. It's not a mistake that you get yourself into debt, because debt is a degree of financial resonation. There's a psychology to debt, and people get themselves into debt because they don't back themselves, because they don't pay themselves first. They just subordinate to everyone else. And when they get their money, they end up just blowing it on other people's stuffs, on other people's brands and businesses. They buy into other people's dreams, not their own. They don't back themselves. They don't pay themselves first. They don't create. They don't innovate. So they just become net consumers. A net consumer, that's someone who has positioned themselves down on the left-hand side of the stage, when most of the other 7 billion people on the planet are on the right of them. And they are paying other people's dreams, other people's brands, other people's products and services. But the way that you can change that for yourself is by deciding to pay yourself first. So whenever you get your income, you pay yourself first. You don't pay your electricity bill, you don't pay your phone bill, your internet bill, your car finance. Forget them. Pay yourself. Trust me, they're not going to suddenly cut your car, turn off your electricity bill, right? They want their money. They'll put you on payment plans. They will work with you. You pay yourself first. And when this becomes a habit, watch what happens. Things will change in your life. Things will start to shift about. Because when you pay yourself first, other people will want to pay you first. And you will become more magnetic. With every dollar that you save, you will literally become more magnetic. So right now, and I literally mean right now, before you do anything else, go and set up your automated transfer into your savings account and your calendar reminders now, and thank yourself in a few years' time. Because those years are going to pass you by either way.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.